So, you want to make sure their spine is straight. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, keep your spine straight, lead with your heart and fold forward. Place your hands wherever they land. Then inhale halfway up, lengthen the spine a little more, reach with the heart and fold forward. And drop your chin to your heart and fold in. I let her land in the pose in her variation first before I ever touch her. Okay? Now, first thing, and she's, doesn't really have it, but first thing I do is I bring her shoulders down. I take my peace fingers and I just guide her shoulders down and I just open her traps. I'm like doing like this, okay? Okay, then I take my hands to the sacrum. Now just like down dog, you know how we lift it up? It's the same thing. You're going to lift up and then push forward. Okay, so almost the same thing like down dog. And then I'm going to take my hand to her spine.
Yeah, enough of that.
My hands down her spine. And I'm going to get my hands on her shoulder blades and I'm going to say, breathe into my hands. And then I'm going to press her forward. And then I'm going to have my hand in the middle of the back. And I'm going to lift up and forward. Kind of like the Thai deal, but I took it in stages. I didn't just go boom and push her forward. I started with the shoulders. Then I came to the sacrum. I lifted up and forward. Then I walked up the spine.
Yeah, and I couldn't get there without you. It's
Good.
nice.
And then I checked her breathing. Breathe into my hands. Okay. If she can't breathe deep, I put her too far. I pushed her over her edge. Then I keep one hand here and another hand here to stabilize, and I press forward and down. Okay. Now, come on up nice and slow. And swing your legs around and come into child's pose. This is one of my favorite adjustments. Bring your big toes together, knees nice and wide, and drop into child's pose. More often than not, when you're not in a hole, scrunch your shoulders up. This is what you're going to see in forward folds most of the time. Pigeon, child's pose, forward bend, you're going to see it. So the first thing I do is I, again, bend my knees, and I take my hands. If they have hair, long hair, then push the hair out of the way. And women, just move their bra straps slightly aside so you're not pushing into the bra straps and digging them in. And I get right in the traps, okay? And then I just lean back. And then I take my hands to the shoulder blades and I press down and open, down and open, down and open. To spread the shoulder blades apart. And then I go back to the shoulders and lean back. So now I've adjusted her shoulders. I've opened the back of her heart. Now this is the best part. Housekeeping. Go to the sacrum. Now, these are the kidneys. No, we don't want that. This is the sacrum. This is her butt. Okay? Kidneys, butt. In the middle is the sacrum. Okay? Now, when you do this, you're going to press down and open, just like with the shoulder blades. Okay?
Let me do one for Sam.
Stop it.
Adjustment. I take my knees to her sacrum, and I do the shoulders too. That's the nice.
Yes.
Okay, and then when I come out of it,
You don't have to.
we're hungry. Now this is a really nice one too. Just lengthen your spine.
If somebody has knee issues, could they have the block under and still get the benefit of all that, you think?
I would use a block. I'll tell you what I would do.
Yeah.
And then I just say, if somebody has knee issues, there's a couple of options. If you have these nice bolsters, you have them come over a bolster.
And then I rest my...
Or you place a pillow or a blanket under the booty.
needs a man when you've got a bolster? I mean, look at that.
And now
You
that
don't-
have these,
you don't
can
need a
teach
man.
how to restorative
Kind
classes.
of like a frog too.
Like a
Yeah,
little
it is.
bear.
And then you just have them, and now I would have them hold this pose for like
Well done.
minimum 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes maybe, 5 minutes minimum. And I would read a poem, or I'd play a mantra, or I'd tell a story, or I'd give a metaphor, or something while they're just, and then I would do that to start out, and then I would just zip it and let them enjoy the experience. Okay? So with forward folds, and you guys are going to do these, now come into pigeon real quick, and then we got to go eat. This is a nice. Key things about pigeon. Okay. Now you see how Nicole's hip is pretty much level with the floor. Okay? So if she was rolled like this, and her knee was like this, and her foot was like this, I'd say, and she's like that, that is no good. So the first thing I would do is I would have a prop, a blanket, another mat, a bolster, and the first thing I would do would lift her hip and slide the prop underneath here. Okay, now I got her hips level. Then I would adjust the leg and have her kneecap onto the floor. Okay, then, now look at the difference. Now remember, we always in pigeon, we go up before we go down. So bring your fingertips to the floor, fingertips to the floor. These are your fingertips. Okay, now inhale, lift your spine. I have short arms for my Now lead with your heart and pull forward. This is a nice one. Put your forehead on the block. Okay, now look at her spine. It's even, one line. Okay? So this is what I would do with someone with challenge with that. If it's knee issue, there's a different solution. Then I would have her stretch her arms out in front. If you can take your head all the way to the floor, that's great, but I just want to give you that experience because sometimes that's nice to have the spine on. And then it can bring your foot out more.
Can I move it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because she's flexible, so we can even say, can you bring your foot out a little more? Okay, so now bring your arms all the way out. I'm going to start with housekeeping. Then I'm going to do the shoulders. Housekeeping, then maintenance. Good. And then the concierge. Again. See how my hands are moving? I'm spreading her sacrum apart. How does that feel? And in this one too, you can do the dual one. And I'm using my intuition because I'm hearing her going, oh. If she starts tensing up on me more, it's too much. And then you can even do this one too. Okay? But you cannot do any of this business until you get their hips level. And sometimes that means, like somebody, who was it yesterday? I think it was Chris. I shoved a blanket underneath her hip because her hips were hiked up.
I was up here and you did something yesterday. Was it the same? Oh, look, here's your dot.
I know, it came out good. Probably this one. I did this.
Yeah, that felt good too from up there. So even if they're here, you can do that.
Yeah. Even if they're here. But really you want that head down. And if they can't get their head to the floor, you should do the telescope deal, this, or block on that forehead on the block.
Fabulous.
So, or a bolster, that's nice too. Okay? So we're going to work more